Well, good morning and welcome back. We are in our final fabulous segment here on CityLine. And with me, I have somebody who just oozes goodness and excitement, and you just kind of want to hang around this person, which means this person's doing what they were born to do, and that is Jobs 253. Please join me in welcoming Chris Sieg. You are technically the career and technical education for Tacoma School District, but you were in at the beginning of this program, weren't you?
Yeah. I had the honor to be in the formerly Summer Jobs 253 10 years ago to help create and coordinate the program, initiated from former mayor, now Congresswoman Marilyn Strickland.
Boom, bah. Yes. So that when I ask you what is the history, is that all of it, or is there more that we need to know to really catch us up?
Yeah, really, the program started pre-2012 when Marilyn Strickland, went to a mayor's conference in Washington, D.C. With President Barack Obama. And nationwide, and particularly here in Tacoma, a very high youth unemployment rate. So ages 16 to 24, youth were drastically underemployed. Oh. And so the charge to the mayors was to create a program to help alleviate the unemployment that age group was suffering at the time. And so that's when, then in pre-2012, 2012 was the first year. And so that's when the program first started, and it didn't even have a name. We just called it the Summer Youth Employment Program, and we started with 50 kids, and it kind of went on from there.
Oh my gosh, so let's fast forward to today, or maybe last summer. How many kids did we serve?
Well, last summer we did 150 students.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of organizing.
Yeah.
Students' lives have lots of moving parts.
Yeah. So when building up to that was every year we were going to increase by 50 students. So in 2012, 2015, 100, or 50, 100, 150, and so on. So 2018 was the goal set to do 253 students.
Oh, I love
and
that.
So from that point until for the last 10 years, we served over 1,200 students.
Wow. So these past few years, and now as we start to kind of think back on these past few years, we have to think about COVID. And when everything came to a screeching halt and we stood still, probably for the first time in our society in hundreds of years, what impact did COVID have on this program? Because we couldn't be together.
Yeah, as you know, everybody knows, COVID was devastating for education.
Yeah.
And so, with respect to that, there were some bright sides to the pandemic. And one of the things was the Summer Jobs 253 at the time, that program. So we had designed the program to reach out to credit deficient, underrepresented youth, low income, to try to give them the work experience and some of the things they would need to help their future. And so as we rolled into the 2019-22 school year, we would recruit students in the fall. And so we had students recruited, and part of the program is you would have students participate in what we called an intro to work experience. So they gained some tools and some skills prior to entering the program that was designed for the summer. So we had, back then it was pre-COVID, so we had them doing workbooks, and we passed out workbooks during, my colleague Brady Becker and I, we passed out workbooks and met with students as we approached the beginning of second semester. So that was going into March, right? We shut down in March.
March 2nd.
Yeah, March 2nd. And so on that Friday was the last day we were going to shut down. We were at Foss High School, and we had the last group of students to hand out the workbooks to, and we had 60 students show up, and with every student was a parent. And so as we were literally getting escorted out, we were handing out workbooks, and we were really determined to continue the program. Our superintendent, Josh Garcia, and
great guy.
Yeah, for sure. And Mayor Woodards, of course, really were like, we need to make this program happen. You guys figure out how we're going to do it. And we were already planning on converting the program from a job placement program as Summer Jobs 253 and transitioning into what now is Jobs 253 and into a community service program. And so it was kind of teed up at the time. We didn't know it, but
It was.
It kind of worked out okay.
Which, as I sit here and think about psychologically how COVID affected, every demographic, every age group. But in my mind, the age group that really felt it are the students that you have this program for. What did you see changed from, let's say, a non-COVID year to a COVID year in terms of psychologically what it did to our students?
Yeah, well, it's looking at the prospect of not being able to be with your friends,
Yes.
not being able to be in person and to have what you were really, if you're in high school, right? If you reflect back, I know that was a long way for you, not too long for you though, right?
No, it was.
But it was kind of a social scene. You went there because of that.
Absolutely.
Of course, you went to class and you learned some things, right? But it was kind of a social scene for most kids. And so when that was stripped away, there was no way to predict how that would affect students. And as we transitioned back to in-person, you really saw that. You almost lost 2 years of that type of interaction and that type of learning socially. So it was almost like you lost 2 years.
Starting over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because state the ages again that you find jobs for.
What we really do, as we converted into Jobs 253, it's leaning in now towards a community service program, and has grown beyond that now to where Jobs 253, the initiative from Mayor Woodard's was to bring it, and our director Adam Koulas, we wanted to create a situation where Jobs 253 encompassed all of our work-based learning programs and went year-round. So we were able to give opportunities to students year-round.
That is incredible. So once it kicked in year-round, what kind of changes did you see? Did you see consistency? Did you see attention go up? Did you see repeat offenders? Hey, I worked for you last summer, I want to come back, or I'm going to keep working with 253 until I graduate.
Yeah, well, what we see now, because we focus on 15-year-olds, really, freshmen going into their sophomore year.
Which is a big change.
Yeah. Formerly, it's like Summer Jobs 253 almost did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
The youth unemployment rate went down, more kids were getting employed, and now you have business out there that are just, they can't find enough employment. So it's like it's did its job. So now as we transition to a community service program, we are focusing on the younger students around 15 coming into their sophomore year, so they gain work experience that they normally wouldn't get. They do a financial literacy course during the program as part of the requirement.
Anymore.
Yeah,
it's fabulous.
Yeah, so that, and we do resume development as part of the program requirement, and also at the end we do a reflection. So they reflect on their experience, and that is the most impactful thing you could imagine. Reading some of these things, it makes everything worthwhile.
Give me a point of view from the employer side, because we've talked mostly about the students who you have just developed these riches for. But how did you get all these employers to say yes?
Yeah, well, it wasn't difficult, to be honest with you. Right. How would you like to participate in a program where you could provide a student with a paid work experience, except you don't have to pay the bill, right?
Well, okay, when you put it like that, sign me up.
Yeah, well, I will sign you up. So maybe this summer we'd be happy to have you arrange for some Jobs 253 interns right here for TV Tacoma.
Why not? That's a great idea, because how this comes together is not what you see out there. Absolutely. So how can our community support you and get involved?
Well, we have many different ways that the community can get involved. We have employer partners across the city, and we always invite people to support however it is, whether it's a parent with a student in Tacoma Public Schools that would like their student to participate, or an organization that would like to host a student to participate. They go to the tacomapublicschools.org, our website, and they go to career departments and go to career and technical education, and they're able to find a way to reach out to us as a community member.
I love that. So for the parents, how do we get our students signed up? What do we do next?
Well, we do a lot of promoting through our communications office, and every student and every family gets repetitive emails. Not everybody reads emails, so we do many different ways.
Tap, tap, tap,
What we
yes.
see now is some things that we put out into the schools. So students will receive these in the schools, and they're able to photo the QR code and go right to the application. So some of the other programs that Jobs 253 covers, other than worksite learning, is we have our summer credential programs that students are able to apply for. So we have programs like the Tide Flats Warehouse Logistics, Tide Flats Merchant Mariner. We have a Wildland Fire coming back this year. We have an environmental services program, which is in a partnership with the City of Tacoma's Environmental Services Department. And we have a drone program.
I'm there.
All sorts of different kind of pathways that kids are interested in, where they receive the $500 stipend through Jobs 253. They earn industry-recognized credentials that translate into real-world jobs outside of after they graduate in career pathways that these students are looking for.
That is so impressive, and I love how you just kind of smoothly put in there they get a $500 stipend, because I can just hear all the moms and dads cheering and going, "Yay! They're actually getting paid for learning. This is wonderful."
So the feedback we get from parents is, from the $500 stipend to the half credit to graduate.
There we go.
Also, we hear sometimes is, "I'd like my kid to do something productive this summer." Right? So we sometimes get that, but really what's overlooked is the great things that the students get, the industry recognized credentials, thousands of dollars worth of credentials that are at no cost to the student. And the networking and the contacts that they make with our partners in industry that are in-demand, high-wage jobs for students' future, whether they're looking for just a summer
Gift of a
job or a
lifetime.
career.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Sure.
For you and for all the people on your team we couldn't get on this couch, for you caring and loving our future so much, that they are active, they are engaged, and they're participating. And that's the gift of hope. And I think our teens need that more than ever. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that wraps up another great segment of CityLine. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be in your home. We've given you some really good things to think about in this past hour, so please go out there, pay it forward, and be a part of the tapestry. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here on CityLine. Take care.
You're from Atlanta, but Tacoma's where you'll stay. Alright, you're from the easy. Alright, you're from Green Bay. Alright, you're from Atlanta, but Tacoma's where you'll stay. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Alright, you're from the East Coast. Alright, you're from the West. Alright, you're from the middle, but Tacoma's still the best. Alright, you're from the East Coast. Alright, you're from the West. Alright, you're from the middle, but Tacoma's still the best. Hey, Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines to the dawn. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Tacoma, that's my home. From the pines